Hey everyone, it's Reed here with a little garden update. Alright, so it's been about 2 weeks since we looked at this little area, and things are getting bigger. They grow. And I will just made the planting to get corn and everything else out of our grow season, which I'll be very happy about. And we'll go look at some stuff. You can see my bean tree is putting on its second growth spurt of the year. It's kind of funny, these cherry trees do things in doubles and such. Actually, look here. Okay, here's the black cherry tree. And you can see here where it put on all this. This is new. See, it grew out this limb in the beginning of the season, and now we're putting on more stuff. When they get their roots grown and bit to make them bigger, then they finish off and go a bit bigger and stuff. They go in stages. And these cherry trees, these two, are doing really well. And let's go over this way. So here is one of the other potato gardens. It is actually perked up a lot and is doing really well. I'm liking how it's going and such. And based on how much the ground has heaved in some places, I am pretty darn certain I am going to get some nice potatoes out of this one. Now this one, I am certain I'm going to have a lot of potatoes in here. Well, maybe not a huge amount, but a fair amount. I can tell a lot has really grown. The ground's moved and everything else, and mounds have developed and stuff like that. So I'll be real interested when these all die back a bit further to actually see what I got. And I think I might finally be succeeding at potatoes. And like you can see down here, I'm getting close, where the ground is kind of split and stuff like that. And I poked in there earlier, and yeah, there's a nice big potato behind it. So hopefully nothing eats stuff until I get it dug up, but we'll take a look at that. Let's go take a look at some corn in this garden. Okay, so here's the first set that I'd planted, I'd mentioned to you guys. And you can see how it's gotten taller, and we actually have, you know, little ears developing and so on and stuff and such. These were the ones that were planted the soonest ahead of everything else, you know. Then we got these ones getting big and so on. This is dwarf corn too. This is painted mountain. This is a feed type corn, which I can make hominy and stuff out of. You know, cornmeal, all sorts of things. It tastes pretty darn good. When we get the ears out and stuff, we'll see what you guys think. It's very colorful a lot of times and such. But you can see how the other ones are coming along really quickly as well. Once you get the ground and water and everything else right, it goes pretty fast. You can see this cucumber plant is about ready to just take off. And the one on the back side of this other one is just, oh yeah, it's gonna make me a lot of cucumbers. Hopefully I can keep the number down a bit this year. I had 90 quarts of cucumbers last year. It was insane. I've been thinking about doing like a channel giveaway because I have cases and cases of pickles and jars that I've prepared. And I was thinking, hey, maybe I should just do a giveaway of win free pickles from Reed or something like that. I don't know. I debate on that, but I've only eaten like 6 or 7 jars on my own because Lee doesn't like pickles. So I got lots of pickles. So you can see this other one here working away and stuff. Now I'm going to make a video about this drip irrigation and tell you about it because this is kind of new to what I put in this area and it's working great. Last year I had big sprinklers that sprayed everything and they worked but wasted a lot of water. This is a lot more effective and such. And it'll let me sort of make paths and such like that and develop this area more of the way I want and to raise the beds and so on and so forth. But you can see how things are growing and getting bigger and everything else. And like I say, it takes work to get stuff to grow out here. And a lot of testing, playing with, and eventually you figure it out. Well, at least I hope to. Here's a close-up of the bean tree. And like I said, you can spot some of the new growth over here that it's doing in its second run. We'll see how much taller this guy gets this year. But I'm looking forward to getting cherries on my own here out in the desert. Also should be quite pretty when it decides to bloom. Now let's go take a look at the keyhole garden. And boy, is that a surprise. But wait, let's stop here at sunchoke territory. All right, so they are a little over waist high for me. So they're getting there. They're growing and such. This variety gets pretty darn tall. And then we've got this other variety over here. I'm going to have to look up to see what I planted. I don't remember the names of what was what. Now this variety, this is the first year I planted it straight from the season all on its own. I have no idea how tall it's going to get. We'll find out. We'll see if it can match this leftover stock that tall. I think that was like 7 or 8 feet at the end. They get pretty big. We'll see what how these ones are going to do this year. Based on how much I have of sunchokes and closeness, I'm going to have a fair amount to dig up. Should be tasty. At least I hope so. But I was real impressed with how well these plants deal with all sorts of things going on. Now to the keyhole garden. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, it's ridiculously tall. I mean, that corn is about 7 feet tall, the really tall stuff. 7 or 8 feet. And you can see everything else has gone bonkers, like usual. I mean, this is sort of what my keyhole does. And I will have this other one next to it, and then another one and another one. I'm going to be building these like crazy. And if you can see here, we have lots and lots of bean stuff going on. And you're wondering, hey, Reed, where are the beans in those things? I see them climbing, but where's the beans, man? Well, tepuries are actually sneaky little guys. They hide their production. They really like to hide it. Now, if we go down in here and go poking around, we should be able to find some of the early pods. But they just blend in so darn well. It's like, where the heck is it? And then you're like, oh, there it is. Let's see here. Okay, for the darndest reason, they are just not jumping out to me right now. Let's go to one I was definitely looking at earlier and I spotted a million pods on. I mean, I see all the flowers on this guy, so it's got to have a bunch coming soon. Well, let's go around. Oh, you can see the cantaloupe here is making a good run for it. And you can see the bean plants from my seed, these black bean ones I grow, they took off real fast. Now, the tomato plant did not make it. Wah, wah, wah. That happens. It does. But we have others that I'm going to have to cage in a little bit. Oh, got tomatoes hiding in there and such. But yeah, stuff's coming along in there. Let me show you some of the bigger tomatoes. But let's get on to the tepury. Let me show you. Oh, there we go. See, I don't know. Can you guys see that? Okay, there's a pod. Okay. Oh, there's a bunch down there. Yeah. Now these guys, oops, we already got some dry ones. Okay. So here's a dry tepury pod. Okay. Now this is going to be full of brown tepury beans. And when we go through the garden at the end of the season, we're going to have gobs and gobs of these things to pick up. I mean, it's just crazy. It's overwhelming a little bit. But like I say, these beans produce like gangbusters out here. Outproduce anything I have ever planted in terms of beans. Now on the back side, we have a lot more tepuries right up the trellis. But you can see I got my pepper plants down here, and we have a fair amount of peppers I'm going to have to be getting. They're producing like crazy. There's red peppers in here. I'm going to have to give some of the tepuries a haircut because they are getting a little too into everything. But that's what they do. They are heavy. Whoops. Oh, we must have broke that when we were digging through something. Happens, guys. It happens. Yep. Okay, so then we got more peppers over here. We'll get out of here. All right, take a look at this corn from the base up. Oh, that's tall corn. And I feel short standing by it. Now, let's see here. You can see my tomatoes. Whoops, sorry guys. There we go. Tomatoes are coming in. I got a fair amount of stuff to start grabbing. Come around over here. Okay. More tomatoes. Not too much on this plant yet. I'm certain we're going to see some soon. Now, back over here is one of my early black bean plants. When I first got this going, we planted back there. Well, this plant is pretty much at the end, and you see, whoops, sorry, you see these pods are turning purple like that. Means the beans are done. So I'm going to collect them up, and we'll start cracking them open and drying. And for drying beans, it's actually pretty easy. We'll do a 3-minute video on it because it's really easy. Now we got the other pepper plants here. They are making more peppers because I have some bell peppers inside. Actually, I'll show you one when I get in. Show it to you real quick. Yeah, and stuff. And then we got more bean plants working away. And then, as you can see, corn is growing. It's really tall. And we got another escapee of cantaloupe. And there's, I should be able to find a melon by now. It is somewhere. And we got more bean plants, more corn. Now here's my sweet corn stuff. Okay. Like I said, these were a dwarf corn called Painted Hill. And they do really well out here for me. And let's see. Yep, gotta keep growing. Yeah, that one's a really, really young stalk. Cob. Yep. Got a ways to go. Now, actually, there's some that is getting a lot closer. Let me see. It's on the back side back here. This one. Yeah, that one's getting a lot closer. Yep. So, I feel everything. Check it out. Soon we should have corn and such. It just takes a while for them to grow and fill everything out. But that's how the keyhole garden looks. Okay, well, I'm going to get some watering going, and I'll go inside and show you a bell pepper in just a minute. Okay, here's one of the purple bell peppers I harvested just recently. You gotta see what it looks like. It's very purple. I got a couple I need to cook and make into stuff. I think I might put some peppers in a spaghetti sauce. Tastes good. Well, hope you liked the little garden update, everyone. And I'll show you more of the produce as it keeps coming in. Soon, I'll be overwhelmed with produce. Have a great day, and this is Reed, out for now.